Okay, so the interpersonal skill I chose to focus on for this module is emotional intelligence. And I basically, emotional intelligence is the ability for one to express their emotions to others or to be able to understand the emotions of others and be able to respond um, in an empathetic and understanding way. For this part of the assignment, I'm going to share a situation within the past week that where I tried to improve my overall emotional intelligence and like while speaking to others and specifically my friend, a conversation we had. So the context, it was on Monday. We went to a local park just to walk through a nature trail. It was like late morning, early afternoon, and we were gonna go later in the evening, like while the sun was setting. But I had like made commitments to my family to come home for dinner. So for the sake of the story, my friend's staff, we met up at like 11 a.m. Since that's what time worked for both of us. And we walked down the trail and we found some picnic benches and we kind of sat down and started to talk about like what was going on with our lives. And then the opportunity kind of presented itself and I chose to like improve my emotional intelligence at this time because I was alone with a person who I've known with for a while and I like trust her and I'm comfortable with her and we've been like just become very close. And Steph had actually asked if we could go on a walk on a trail and sit down and talk. So I figured she probably wanted to like vent and talk about everything going on in her life at the moment, which gave me like the perfect opportunity to try and be more empathetic and engaging in my responses. So honestly, this time was chosen over like any other opportunity because I was scheduled to work every day that week and I wouldn't have time to go out or like hang out, talk to anyone and improve my emotional intelligence skills. I was thinking of trying it out with my family at dinner, but I decided I'd rather try out a new skill on someone I can kind of relate to more. And so behavior, we started talking about like the weather and everything going on in Texas with the winter storms, and I didn't say much. That situation kind of doesn't really affect us that much, and I can't really relate. So there's like nothing to be empathetic about. And so then we kind of transitioned from Texas talking about how busy she is with school and work and balancing everything, and which is something I can relate to. And she told me that she was having trouble like with one of her classes, and the restaurant is like super busy that she works at, so she has to work more days a week. And I was like, I can relate to that 100%. And I responded pretty much by saying, like, I completely agree, balancing school and work, and not to mention like extracurriculars along with social lives and work lives, personal lives. It's just a lot. And Steph was telling me about a situation she had with like a customer at work. She works at a restaurant too, and like was super rude to her. And so I explained that I understood how she felt because I had had a similar thing happen to me with a customer. And so then I explained my story and we kind of laughed about it. So we got to like relate over that. And then I just felt that I overall, honestly, I felt that my attempt to improve and enhance my emotional intelligence was a success. And I'll definitely try to improve it more in the future. Speaking of the future, I think that I'll continue to relate to what someone is telling me, like sharing with me by telling a story or an anecdote that like we can both relate to. And like in group settings, I tend to be more reserved. But I think next time I hang out with more people, I'll definitely try to like relate and engage with like what it is they're talking about more than I normally would. I'm surprised my attempt to be more engaging and empathetic worked so well. The opportunity was perfect. I'm usually a person where I just kind of like nod my head and I'm like, wow, that's crazy, or something along the lines of that. But and just like let them continue to tell their story, but actually like engaging in conversation and sharing stories is not something I normally do. And I'm surprised it worked as good as it did. I think in the future, I'll be able to have more conversations with my friends and family at like a high level of emotional intelligence. And so that is it. Thank you for watching.